and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share some of my top tips for getting rid of bloating, and then after that I'm going to share my top tips for preventing it altogether. Bloating is like literally affects everybody, and it doesn't necessarily mean that there's something wrong. A lot of times it could just be that you're eating a lot of food. It could be you have a lack of probiotics in your system, etc. So I'm gonna just start and share with you my tips that work the best. The first thing that might seem annoying, especially when you feel super bloated, but this is drinking water, and drinking a lot of it. Water will help flush everything out of your system. And a lot of the times you're bloated because you're actually dehydrated and your body's holding on to excess water because it doesn't know when it's going to get water. So if you're drinking water and your body knows there's constantly a supply, it just eliminates water, and I promise you will feel a lot less bloated. The second biggest tip is to take probiotics. This kind of goes for both to prevent and also to get rid of. So if you are feeling really bloated, eat like a whole like a healthy whole fat yogurt with probiotics in it. Drink a kombucha with probiotics in it. Take a probiotic capsule. That'll help the bloating within an hour probably. Get rid of bloating, but also this prevents bloating. So if you have a good population of good bacteria in your gut, then it'll help break down food and help kind of speed things up so you won't be so bloated in terms of digestion. The next thing, and this is probably one of my all-time favorites, is drink a ginger and turmeric tea. So ginger is helps with digestion. Turmeric is anti-inflammatory. Together they are a powerhouse. If you just get either tea bags of ginger and turmeric, or get turmeric root and ginger root and put them in a mug with some hot water, same thing, you will feel so much better. I would say within like 20 minutes. Like, it works amazing and it really soothes the stomach, especially ginger. The next thing might seem a little bit annoying too, especially when you're feeling bloated and like just you don't really want to be doing this, but it's exercise. You don't have to do something intense, even just a quick walk, a quick 5-10 minute workout routine, just something to get your blood flowing, and that really helps with bloating. And this kind of helps to prevent bloating as well. But exercise, honestly, if you're feeling sluggish, if you say you had a big Easter dinner and you're like, I feel so sluggish and bloated, go for a walk. Even if it's 10, 20, 30 minutes, you will feel so much better after, I promise. The next thing is my top favorite, and this is apple cider vinegar. Now, apple cider vinegar with the mother, you want it to be unpasteurized, so it has the good bacteria in it, but apple cider vinegar is amazing. I literally will drink it straight from the bottle, but if that's too strong, you can mix, I would say, a tablespoon or two with a glass of warm water and drink that, and I promise within 20-30 minutes your bloating will be gone, or at least a lot less. You won't feel like super hard and super crampy. So 100% apple cider vinegar. I can't stress that one enough. That's my all-time favorite, and I do it even if I'm not bloated. I will wake up every single morning. I will have a glass of warm water with freshly squeezed lemon and a tablespoon or two of apple cider vinegar. You can add a little bit of honey if you can't stand the taste and you want a little sweeter. It definitely does help. But if you don't need the sugar, if you can do it without it, then definitely try that. The last tip to get rid of bloating that I have is drinking warm lemon water. So another thing is getting a glass of warm water and squeezing some fresh lemon in it. So if you don't like apple cider vinegar or you don't like ginger, then try some warm lemon in some water, and that will help flush everything out and prevent your body from holding on to excess fluid, which is kind of making you bloated as well. Okay, so moving on to how to prevent it from the beginning so you don't get bloated. Now, this won't always work. There will still be times where you will get bloated for reasons unknown, and it could just be your gut health or something. You don't really know, but for the most part, to really help prevent bloating altogether, the first thing is to reduce stress. If you are very stressed, take 10 minutes and just do some deep breathing. Take 5 minutes and do some deep breathing. Go take a hot bath. Just whatever you normally do during the day to de-stress, do it, because if you're very stressed, you will get bloated. That's a big issue for me. The next thing is to chew your food. I am so bad with this. When I have a plate of food, especially being a mom of 3 and I don't get to eat often because I don't have time, I'm like, when I have my meal, I literally like inhale it and it's done. So this for me is a big thing, and I know I get bloated because I don't do this often enough. But chewing your food, they say the minimum you should chew every spoonful is 37 times, but the ideal number to chew, it sounds crazy, but 72. They say 72 times you chew, and that will help break down your food. That's why smoothies and juice diets and stuff like that are so much better just in terms of digestion, because your body doesn't have to work so hard. So your food's not fermenting in your stomach, you know, before your body can digest it all and all that. So chew your food. If you can't do 72 times, which I can't, it's like, it just happens, I just swallow it, at least try 30 times and just be mindful of your chewing and really try to break down your food really well. The next thing kind of related to chewing your food is eat smaller meals. So instead of sitting down to a huge plate of food, maybe have 6 smaller meals in a day, or just have smaller meals in general. If you eat a lot of food, you're overloading your system and filling up your system, and it takes so much longer and a lot more work for your body to break down the food. So if you have little smaller meals, your body can break it down and eliminate it much more efficiently. The next thing is to avoid sugar and processed foods. Sugar in general will make you bloated, but processed foods with bad chemicals and corn syrups and corn starches and MSGs and all that will 100% make you bloated. And I'm sure you feel it if you have a cheat meal, say, go have some chocolate and, you know, maybe a donut or something, you will feel bloated and sluggish after. So definitely avoid sugar and processed foods if you don't want any bloating. The last thing is to avoid cruciferous veggies if you are like a cereal bloater. Basically broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, things like that. Also eggs, they're not a vegetable, but they're kind of, you know, sulfur. So avoid that as well, because these will make you bloated. Every time I eat broccoli or Brussels sprouts, my stomach literally, I look like I'm like 9 months pregnant. I'm serious, it comes out so far. I still eat them because I'm obsessed with Brussels sprouts and broccoli. But if you are not like obsessed like I am and you can live without them, maybe avoid them and try something else, or really cook them well, steam them really well or something. Try to avoid them raw for sure. So those are my tips to prevent and to get rid of bloating. These are all natural tips. You know, you don't need any special pills or anything. These really work, but I would say my top tips for getting rid of bloating, if you are bloated, drink apple cider vinegar. Like, it works the best out of everything. And the next thing is drinking water is probably really high up there, and some kind of ginger, whether it's a ginger candy or a ginger tea. Ginger is really helpful. So what I like to do is actually make a drink: apple cider vinegar, ginger, turmeric, lemon, warm water, and I chug it. It doesn't taste the greatest because I don't put sweetener in mine. Sorry, I swear this always happens when I'm filming, my battery dies, but basically mine doesn't taste that good because I don't put sweetener in it, but I will chug it, and I guarantee my bloating is gone within half an hour. And if I do have any bloating left, it's just a very small amount. Because like, I will wake up in the morning, have a flat stomach, but then by like the afternoon, because I eat fast and I eat a lot and all that, I get so bloated. So I look like a completely different person in the afternoon. So these tips have really helped me, and I literally do them every day now, even if I'm not bloated. So my top tips, if you want to prevent bloating, out of my entire list, I would say 100% take a probiotic, eat smaller meals, chew your food, and avoid sugar. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. That lets me know that you guys like the content I'm releasing. And yeah, I will see you in my next one. Bye.